Alright, YouTube, it's me, David Harry, your favourite vlogger and YouTuber. Right, what I'm going to do in this video is just a preliminary test. So what it is, I've just got myself the Action 2 of all cameras. There'll be some videos about this explaining why I've got it and stuff and whatnot. But what I'm doing in this prelim test is just to get out and work out exactly what its built-in mic is like. Because one of the main reason, or the main reason really why I've got this, I'm getting covered in crap here, hold on. The main reason why I've got this is just to have like the smallest possible camera for vlogging with. So that obviously means using the internal microphone, and hopefully this is going to be great. So what I'm going to do is just do like a few minutes of just like dialogue, you know, just walking around my usual places where I do me testing and stuff. And of course, what I will have to do after this is like, you know, work a few things out and then do a proper video about like using this as a, like, you know, dedicated vlogging camera, obviously with the internal mic and stuff like that. I'll of course be doing a bunch of things with like external mics and what have you, but right now I'm just only really concerned with how its internal mic sounds. Anyways, let me just do a quick thing which I've already done, which is my noisy traffic test. Okay, so my quick noisy traffic test here. So right now the traffic isn't right behind me, but give it a couple of seconds and there goes a bunch of noisy traffic. So of course I'm gonna have to revisit all this again once I've kind of worked out, you know, what I'm doing proper with this. But just for me first test anyway, that should give me an idea of how well it's picking my voice up against the noisy traffic. Okay, so with the noisy traffic test done, I'm just gonna do a little bit of walking through the park here, and hopefully the only sounds we're gonna hear are falling conkers, which has just nearly hit me on the head. Look, there's loads of them falling off the tree. Anyway, so I'm just in one of the fields in the park here, and there are some noises around. There's somebody doing some maintenance somewhere, so there's some kind of cutting or something going on. There will be obviously some, like, you know, nature sounds and what have you. Not tons of them at the moment though, but nonetheless, what I should be doing here is once again giving myself a really good idea as to how the microphone responds, you know, to dialogue and stuff. Anyways, a couple of other things about what's going on here. I have no idea what the pitch is up to in any way whatsoever. I've literally kind of just switched it on. I think I just changed it to 4K 25. So I think whatever the pitch is doing is what it does out of the box. I think this is just its normal de-warped, regular, standard, whatever it is. Once again, these things I'm gonna have to work out and then like do specific videos about things like field of view and stuff. In fact, whilst I'm out right now, I may well do like a prelim field of view thing, just so I've got a good idea of what's going on. I also don't know where I am in the frame. Now that's not because, you know, I should be using a front screen for vlogging. It's not like that for me, because I don't use front screens. What I do is just kind of test something for a bit, work out where my optimum position is for like framing and stuff, with whatever camera that I'm using. Don't use from like screens or something. It's not something that I've ever been into. So right now I might be all over the place, I don't know, but I will remedy that after I've done like some more testing, so I can work out where I'm up to with it and things. Anyway, just whilst I'm here, whilst the microphone is just the one mic on the front, it might actually offer some kind of directional response. I've got a feeling it's going to be an Omni, but because it's placed inside the body, it may well have some form of rejection on it. So let me just turn the mic around, or the camera. So that's one side there. Now that's me talking to the back of it there. I don't expect it to have dropped off wildly, but if it has done, that'll be even better for vlogging. Then that's the other side there. It's now pointing towards the traffic behind the wall over there, after like beyond those trees, and then that's back around to the front. So hopefully there is a little bit of a drop-off thing going on there. I don't expect it to be anything like a cardioid or typical cardioid pattern, but any type of drop-off would be good as far as, like, you know, vlogging is concerned. In fact, what I'll do here as well, I'll just walk through this dark area here. Once again, this is not a picture test, and whatever it's doing with the picture, I'm not going to get all flipped and bent out of shape about it. However, I'm also just test this as I'm doing stuff as well. Okay, now where I am now, it's going to be like less noises other than like the ambient traffic noises coming off the roads that flank the park and that. But once again, is it picking up my dialogue okay? Now the other thing that I will have done here is to have gained up in post by way of a limiter. So what I'm going to do is right now, what we are listening to right now is the sound exactly as it was recorded. So this is without any re-leveling or anything like that. And then what I'm going to do now is put it back up to my re-leveled version. There's no EQ going on here, and there is no kind of like, you know, compression, which would otherwise obviously alter the tone as well as the dynamics. I do use the limiter, which is a form of compression, but I don't go crazy with it. It's only just to resum the level up, and that would have very, very minimal impact on the tonal qualities, if any. So yeah, that's where I'm up to with this particular setting that I've got on right now. Also, it's very muddy, and I've got to be careful with what I'm doing here before I fall on my big fat arse in that mud. Anyways, I think that might well do it for this test now. So like I say, preliminary test, just to give me an idea of what this thing's going to be like for doing, like, you know, vlogging on its own. And I have to say immediately, this, if it works out, is going to be an amazing vlogging setup, because it is so tiny, it is unobtrusive, and you can just fit it everywhere. In fact, I've actually come out to do a test with me Hero 11. So there's my Hero 11 there with some dead cats on. Now what I am going to do with this as well, the Action 2, is work out some ways of putting a dead cat system on, although it won't be anything like this one, because this would definitely enter the field of view. However, what I'm going to do is get some double-sided sticky something, center puncher, to put around the mic on the front, and then use some felt across it to see if that's going to be effective as, like, you know, wind reduction. It'll definitely do some wind reduction. As to whether or not it's going to be effective, or as to whether or not it's going to like wreck the tone of the mic, assuming that the tone of the mic is all right. And when I say tone, I'm not talking about Tone from Tone's Adventures. Anyway, yeah, so that's some of the stuff coming up. One other thing about this particular setup here, when you go back into like playback mode, obviously there's no speakers or anything on this particular camera, so you can't check anything as far as audio is concerned. However, for doing this thing where it's just vlogging with the camera on its own, I think at that point, once you know what the mics sound like, there's going to be no surprises once you've actually gone out and done some recording, because yeah, it's going to have recorded the audio. So whilst you can't hear that on playback just quickly out of the camera, I don't think that's going to be a problem, because it's definitely going to be there. It's just that, you know, you won't know what you've done exactly until you've gotten back home and checked it, or if you've brought something out to check it with anyway. Okay, so that will just about do it for this video then. So yeah, there's going to be a bunch of stuff coming up with this if I like it, and if I do like it, there'll be probably a ton of stuff, external mics, all kinds of crazy nonsense like that, and comparisons with the Hero 11 and all that craziness. Anyways, yeah, if you found the video useful in any way, or if anyone's got any ideas about stuff I should do with this, let us know in the comments. And if there's things I can do which aren't going to take too much time out of me and stuff like that, I'll definitely give some stuff a crack with it, because honestly, I really, really love the form factor of this. It's amazing. Anywho, I'm David Harry. Thank you very much for watching this video. Take care and goodbye now.